I'm Jodie and I am 28 years old. I'm a wife and a mother of 2 young girls, and I'm the owner of Hyfryd Creations. I started Hyfryd Creations in May 2017, May last year. Basically what I do is make handmade wooden signs and other kind of little things, but mainly wooden signs. I paint them, or I would dye them and then paint like positive, uplifting quotes, or I do loads of custom orders for like weddings, babies, you know, all sorts of things.
Jodie is a stay-at-home mother that turned a creative hobby of painting into a business. Doing this has helped her with her anxiety and has increased a sense of peace in her life.
I've always liked drawing as far as I can remember. I used to look through my Disney reading books and I used to like draw, you know, pictures, copy the pictures on my sketchpad. I really liked my art class in high school here in Merthyr. I went to Cyfarthur. Really liked my art teacher, so really enjoyed that. When I was 14, almost 15, we as a family moved to America. It was a really hard time for me. I was a teenager and moving to a different country, a completely different culture. It just wasn't me, and I felt really homesick and I felt like I didn't fit in. I didn't lose the love for art and drawing and stuff, but it wasn't as strong as it used to be, and I wasn't really happy, so I just kind of stopped doing it. And so when I was 19, I moved back to Wales. I moved in with my grandparents at the time. I bought some canvases and paint and paintbrushes, and I just started doing it again, and I fell back in love with it because I was happy, because I was back home. I suffered with quite a bit of anxiety when we first got married and we started trying for a baby, and I couldn't get pregnant, and that was really, really hard. I really struggled with that, and I kept getting anxiety attacks and stuff, but I didn't know it at the time, so you just kind of, you know, carry on with life. And then I got pregnant with Hannah, and I was over the moon. I was so happy that the anxiety just went. I got really ill after I had Hannah with gallstones, gallbladder disease, and that was a trigger for the anxiety to come back, because I couldn't eat much and I was really ill and I was in pain a lot. And then I had surgery and we moved and we were buying a house, and I got pregnant with our second daughter, Alice. You know, I felt good. And then I had Alice in May 2016. We had huge changes that year. We'd just bought a house, given birth. My husband was called as the bishop in our church. It's voluntary, so he works full time in Bristol. He'd just got a new job in Bristol, so it was just all a bit crazy. And you know, with a newborn baby, that's hard, as you know, you get sleep deprived and that has effects. So all of this adds up, and then Alice was 7 months old, and the anxiety was really, really bad.
Do you think you've experienced more peace since you've started the business?
Oh yeah, I've experienced stress as well, and this is so important when someone starts a business. Someone who's a full-time stay-at-home mother, you've got to learn to organise, and you've got to learn time management. You know, so there was one point last year where I was getting so many orders. My processing time that I would tell people was a week. And there's not nearly enough time for me to, you know, finish orders. And so that's where I kind of lost the time management. You know, I didn't realise my business would be that successful. And so I was starting to get stressed. you know, because I had so many orders, and I could feel my anxiety like creeping in again, and I just thought, right, Joe, you've kind of lost a bit of control. Again, I'd only just started my business. I'd never done anything like this before, so again, it was just me learning. You learn from experience. But yeah, so I upped my processing time, and so it allows me more time to finish orders. And I'm honest with people, like, look, I'm a full-time mother with 2 young children. This is the time that it takes me to make an order, and a lot of people are fine with it, so yeah. So I can do stuff during the day. Some days are not as easy as that though, if I do have a wild toddler, so that does take a lot of my time up, and obviously just, doing the washing dishes, cleaning the house and stuff. But you've got to be organised, so I do, I find time. You can always find time to do things. And then when the girls are in bed, if I'm not out at church or whatever, then I work. I work for a couple of hours, and on the weekends, Saturdays, if we don't have anything planned, I can come up here and work for a few hours, or my husband, watches the girls. The smallest product I have ever made was for a random custom order from my Etsy shop. It was about this big and about this thick, and had the name Regan on it. So that's the smallest. These are like ones that I tie twine on, and they're usually like children's bedroom door signs, so we'll have like Hannah's room or whatever. The longest I've made is about 90 centimetres for someone's kitchen. I said, in this kitchen we dance, so they put that up on their wall. So I can make anything really. Anyone who picks up a paintbrush, whether you can paint or not, and you just get a bit of paint and you just start going like that, it relaxes you. It's really therapeutic. That's why I knew I needed to do this, because to help my anxiety.
Before you started Harvard Creations or thought about it, how often did you used to paint? And what?
Wow. Not very often. Again, because I didn't have the time, and I just didn't have the confidence in myself, so I just I did some things, like usually around Christmas time, if I wanted, for Christmas decorations in the house. I painted like a canvas with a nativity on there. Again, but yeah, not until I started this business did I really start, painting. Like, I do it every day now. I do it every day and I love it.
Activities like sculpting, drawing, photography and painting can lower your stress levels, leaving you feeling mentally calm and clear, providing a distraction, giving your brain a break from usual thoughts that can be stressful or leaving you anxious. When you submerge yourself in creativity, you can find yourself in a state of flow or being in the zone. It's like a meditative state that pushes aside your worries and focuses your mind.
Every time I draw something, I just, something to focus on. So everything that's going on in your life, you can just push that back and focus on a piece of paper with a pencil or a paintbrush with a bit of paint, and because I'm concentrating on something, it used to make me, feel good. Like, I love my kids and I loved my husband, and I was, we had so many blessings in my life, but I felt so unhappy. I felt like something was missing, that I needed to focus on myself. And I remember, we go to church, so, praying to me is a natural thing. And I prayed, and I asked God, I said, look, I don't want to feel like this anymore. What can I do to help myself? And the answer was, like, Joe, I've given you a talent, use it. And my husband had been telling me for 7 years to use my creative artistic talent and start a business, but I suffered with major self-doubt and confidence issues. So I was like, I could never do something like that. Didn't believe in myself. So then when I've been praying, and I felt really strongly yeah, I actually should probably do this. Took me 7 years to accept it and do something about it, but I thought, no, I'm gonna do this for myself. I need help. Yeah, so my kind husband invested in me so I could buy everything I needed for my business. And yeah, one of the main reasons why I started this business was because of my husband, because he believes in me and he's always believed in me. So yeah.